Thank you for joining my TED Talk. This TED Talk, I will be discussing a matter near and dear to my heart. It recently became important to me because my beloved mother, who is a patron saint from heaven, was recently in the hospital for intestinal surgery. Don't worry, the surgery was a success, but there are more tests to follow. Hi, my name is Ted Jeremy Wilson, MBA and Doctor Emeritus, graduate from the esteemed medical university known as Google. I have a fellowship in sit at my computer and read hundreds of pages of medical texts so I can help in any way possible. It is a very prestigious school. The acceptance rate is 100%, yet it has small class sizes. Enough about me. Let's learn what diverted coloscopy surgery is. And yes, I realize you notice the plaques on my desk, you notice my cute daughter, and the thing from my mom. I get it. Don't let it distract you. There are three surgical approaches to consider when performing a loop colonoscopy. Open, which is your traditional cut surgery. Laparoscopic, typically, is 2 or 3 small incisions and one's for air. And last is robotic, which it's in its infancy. And at Johns Hopkins, they're doing pretty amazing things with robotics, so it's going to be exciting in the future. My mother had laparoscopic diverted loop colonoscopy surgery. It is minimally invasive. It has a recovery time of 2 to 6 weeks. Though minimally invasive, it is a major surgery, and it is full anesthesia. And the colon is rerouted through the stomach through something called the stoma and into a colostomy bag outside of the body. It is important to emphasize that although loop colonoscopy is a relatively simple procedure, it is considered a temporary one, and the goal is to reverse it at a later date. So what is the colon, and how does that surgery work? I'm glad you asked, so I'll show you right here. The highlighted red portion of the man's large intestine is known as the colon. The colon removes water and some nutrients and electrolytes from partially digested food. The remaining material, solid waste called stool, moves through the colon and is stored in the rectum, and then finally leaves the body through the anus. This is why hydration is vital to the digestive process, because the colon can process up to 5 gallons of water a day. Food and water is processed by the small intestines, and finally reaches the ascending colon. Just follow along here. Next, it moves on to the transverse colon. Then, it reaches the descending colon. Finally, the sigmoid colon and the rectum and the anus. They are in charge of the intense contractions which prepare and move the waste out of the body. In my mommy's case, the stool was not leaving the rectum, and it was being trapped there, backing up in the sigmoid colon, which was the cause for the perforation, and in turn was the reason for the surgery. The diverted loop surgery bypasses the sigmoid colon so it may heal. None of the terrible causes are concerned. However, I will speak directly to mommy now. As you know, you have another test, so see the levels of contractions, constipations, and functions, but please do not worry. Chances are, you're going to pass all those tests with flying colors. And look at the bright side. Even if it's the very worst case scenario, you will not have to get your own P.O. box and build frequent flyer miles in the bathroom like Dad does. And last, even though I said the recovery is 2 to 6 weeks, does not mean you should push yourself. I do realize that you are young, vibrant, energetic, and beautiful. But that does not mean to set yourself back. Don't go too hard too fast. Do not be a Ted. Well, this concludes my TED Talk. Thank you for joining. But before you go, I'm required to make a legal disclaimer. Nothing I said is from my own unique thoughts. It was pulled from Harvard Medical University, the Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and the NIH. Now go drink some water, and happy pooping.